question.
Right.
How did that come about? Like, what was the plan? Like, how did the owning buildings come about? Because granted, everyone is like ownership, but nobody is telling us exactly the steps on how to go about this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'll let you down, and I haven't. Go ahead.
Right. Well, my father, I think the problem with our community, we don't pass on financial literacy at a young age. Our parents, especially my parents are immigrants, they're very secretive about their finances to the children.
Definitely.
And so, in other cultures, they teach you how to write a check. They take you to the bank. They let you know what's going on, because they know that how important having financial literacy or being aware of their finances is important to your survival and to the community survival.
Mm-hmm.
Most communities, whether it be Asian or Jewish or Muslims, they're going to borrow from their families and their families and their communities before they go to a bank. Our first opportunity to get money outside of ourselves is a bank. And you got interest, you got all this. We as a community to work together so we can keep the money within the community, within our family. So my father, lucky for me, I watched my father. I wouldn't say that he put me in and showed me, but I watched. And I was lucky. He made the right decisions. And because he passed that legacy, he passed it down to me. I was sorry.
You can take that.
No. Because he passed it down to me, it was easier for me. Now, what about somebody that doesn't have that, right? So how do you start? What you do is follow the rules. Simple. Get educated and get a job that's going to give you the salary you need to save up and get your credit right. Then you buy.
What is the salary? What is the number?
It depends on where you live.
Okay.
You can't compare. Like if you live down south, it's not the same price for a house that you would live in Philly.
So let's just talk as if we're in New York.
That's expensive. But we could talk about it.
So if it's expensive, how is one supposed to get to that?
Great question, and that's why I'm necessary. For the simple fact is, if you want to buy a house in New York now, and you want a decent house, a multi-family house,
building.
It's gonna cost you $1 million. It's gonna cost you $1 million unless the building is messed up, and then you gotta fix it over. So it's still gonna cost you a couple of $100,000 just to fix it if you get it for cheap. So what do? You gotta have your money right, and you gotta have your credit right. But you just can't jump to a building. It doesn't work like that. And that's the thing I think that's wrong with our generation. Baby steps. Own a condo first. Own a house first. Pay it off, and then use the money from that to buy something bigger. It's baby steps. Unless you hit the lottery or something like that, it's not going to happen overnight, right? But this is where I come in. When my father was here, in 1984, they had the Nehemiah homeownership program. Those beautiful red brick buildings that you saw, they were selling them for $50,000. $50,000, single family homes, and they gave you $10,000 just to move in because the area was so bad, right? But you had to live in there for 15 years. So I'm telling you, when I get into office, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to create a program like that, but I'm going to do it with condos. Because we don't have enough space to build homes outside with backyards and parking lots. No more. The city is not going to give that much land up. But we could build condos, affordable homeownership programs that's going to allow young people like you and him to go in and buy a condo for a lower than market rate. So now you have something that you own. Because you have a really good question. How do we own something and we're not going to make enough to own it? Because the older we get, the more expensive it gets. So there's someone has to come in and say, hey, stop, everybody stop. We need some ownership for the young millennials because we don't want them leaving the community. Because if I could keep you in this community, guess what? And I could put some nice stores in this community. That means you're going to spend money in this community and the community thrive. And if I put more home ownership, those taxes actually go back to the schools
and education.
When you have, I hate to say, but when you have a lot of 100% affordable housing, you don't get a lot of taxes. The city council doesn't get that much taxes back from that to help the community.
Which makes the education poor.
Which makes the education
lack of resources.
Yeah,
lack of resources. It's not even as Yeah, I agree.
Right.
With you.
So that's why it's important for me to create more homeowners. Not because I want you to be rich, but also because I want the community to be rich. You go to City Jews, you see any of them? You see the ones in Eastern Parkway. You go behind Eastern Park, you see those houses, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go to Midwood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So they own homes. It's not affordable house. They don't want that over there because it's like, hey.
Yeah. They in fact, from what I remember, knocked a few of them joints down and built them back up to how they wanted it exactly.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. If we stuck together. Now, we don't stick together as black people for many reasons. I'm
sorry for cutting you. Going back to how you said certain cultures, they borrow money within their family, right? There's certain black people you borrow money from them.
$50.
Yo, you never seeing them ever again. Like
is that your family? Is that your family?
Oh no, that's not your family.
No, but I mean, is it even your blood?
Yeah.
Is that your family though?
It could be.
Is that your family though?
Like,
think about what I'm saying. Is that your family?
There's relatives and there's families.
Yeah, is that your family? Because the family won't do anything to harm you, right? So we have to get that into perspective. You have to start, like I keep on using that word love. You have to love those who love you, right? So if you're still helping someone that is damaging to you, it's no longer that person's fault. It's your fault, right? For example, we still voting for the same leaders that damage the community. It's not their fault no more.
Yeah,
it's our fault.
Yeah.
You understand? My father bought that building to give kids scholarships because he didn't want to have to depend on politicians giving him money. He wanted to create his own way of making money to help the community. So that's why I could talk that. I could say the Charles Inez Barron are fraudulent. They're frauds.
And these are the people you're running
I'm going against Barrons. They're frauds.
How long have they been in office?
20 years. Switching seats. And look at Brownsville, East New York.
There's nothing that has it.
It's time for them to go. We have the two worst school systems. We have the two worst school districts in the city. District 19, which is East New York, and District 23, which is Brownsville. The two worst. 87% of third graders can't read on grade level.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know, 87. You know what 87? That means you put 10 kids in the room, almost 9 can't read.
That's ridiculous to me.
So with that being said, and she was a teacher. I don't want to talk about them because my platform is love. But I'm saying my platform is love, and my message is love. So I just want to say that we need to start loving ourselves. And I come off tough sometimes because it's tough love. Saying that I'll be the first. If they get into office now and you have me as an option, then the community doesn't want it better for itself. If you say you don't, because you're saying that I represent all the young people that want better out of life. I live in Brownsville, but I went to Barcelona, Israel, Russia, China, Australia. And I come when I get off the plane JFK, I come right back to Brownsville, right? And I own something. I want you to do the same thing. I want you to see the world. I want you to own a business. I want you to have 4 properties. I want everybody to be wealthy. Okay. I don't want to continue to promote poverty, because when you do that, what happens is we're gonna lose at the end, because people rather say, oh, you know, if I work, then I won't be able to live in this apartment for $300 a month. And I get it. I get it. It's expensive, right? But you know what you're really doing? You're being selfish, because you're preventing somebody else that really needs it from getting it. When you do that, I believe that most of these affordable housing should be for seniors, the elderly, and for those who are disabled. Right? And I also believe that, to be honest with you, people been in poverty for 7 generations. 7 generations. That's unacceptable. Who in your family is going to say, stop, I'm tired of living this way? I'm tired.
I feel like with NYCHA, it makes a lot of people.
It's not just NYCHA.
But but I said it makes people cripple. You know what I mean? In regards to like, they don't honestly want to do better, because it's like they're always getting free this, free that.
They enable.
They enable.
I wouldn't say NYCHA. I wouldn't say NYCHA. I would say there's social services in our community that enable people to continue the life of poverty.
But how did this come about? Like, where did this stem from?
I mean, it's many reasons for this. Historically, African Americans have been socially, culturally, economically, politically castrated. They have gone through a certain type of pain that other communities will never ever experience or even can imagine. The whole African diaspora have gone through things, but see, I was always different. I know what my people have gone through. To be robbed of your names, your culture, to be stripped of your dignity and your pride, and taught to hate yourself. Yes, that did happen. But you know what? No one cares. And I say that in the most endearing way. That means you better do something, because if you think they care, then you have a problem. No one's gonna care. You have to care, right? So I'm not gonna say, oh, I can't get this stuff. No, I'm gonna find a way. And then when I can't find a way, I'm gonna take that way. You right? So that's what I'm telling you. Let's try. I'm telling all the youth, let's try this way. Let's try this benevolent, benign way, this kind way of going to the government and say, hey, we want this for our people. And then if something doesn't transpire the way we want it to for the benefit of our community, then we have to try other options. And those options are not going to be nice, because we have more educated and more educated warriors in our community than we realize. But let's try this way one more time to see what they say. And then when we can, under real leadership that's gonna a selfless leader, and make sure that we do not take any shorts when it comes to what we deserve in our community. Let's try this way one more time. Then if we don't get it, then there's a green light on anything it takes to get what we want. That's what I'm on. I'm not with the academics that want to sit down and complain and talk about the books you should read and the leaders you should know and your forefathers. That's important. Mm-hmm. But what are you doing now to change someone's life now? Because the little kids out here, they popping pills. They're not trying to hear about. That's a fact. They're not trying to hear about Frederick Douglass. They're not trying to hear about freedom fighters. They're not trying to hear about any of that. They're trying to hear like, yo, where I'm gonna get some money from? I got a daughter. What I'm gonna do? Or before I go out there and start robbing something and go back. And they, first of all, they're stupid if they're gonna do that, because you're gonna go to jail, right? But if we as a group say, hey, I got all the men educated, I got all the women educated, and they're ready for jobs, and then you don't give us jobs, then that's when we start. That's when the fire comes out. See, the reason I go so hard and I talk about politicians, from people that don't do anything for our community, from the Barrons, the people that were corrupt like the Boylans, or to whatever, I talk about them, and the Adams who front like they do stuff, the Eric Adams. I talk about them because at the end of the day, it's like, hey, listen, I'm the real deal. Mm-hmm. And I dare you to prove that I'm not the real deal. And if I could get a few more brothers to think like me, we'll change the community. Because I'm from the have-nots. I'm from the people that didn't have and they denied. I'm from that. So mm-hmm. So for you to even play with me, and I did your route. I went to the prestigious schools. I did everything you told me to do, and you don't want to give it to me, then I'm going to take it. And I hope that 2012, September 12, 2012, we as the people get together, put me in office, and then we're going to give them that one last warning, which is, we're not playing with you. If you're a young black male, Latino male, black female, Latino female, Asian, white, whatever, and you're doing something for yourself, you need to be celebrated, and you need to help us get to our next point in life. Or we're going to take it. And that's why they don't want me in office, because they know that I'm not playing. I take this serious. I come from a man that got stabbed twice to save this community. When I was campaigning, I got into a couple of scuffles campaigning, because they take this serious out here.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you campaigning because they feel it's money. They feel it's power. So I had going to East New York, I'm scuffling just to campaign and pass out flyers, collecting petitions. I'm fighting in Brownsville. And not to fight like initiate fight, but sometimes it's verbal, sometimes it gets physical.
Mm-hmm.
But I come from a cloth where that when I went home after one scuffle, I said, Dad, they wanna we started fighting because they said we don't want you campaigning over here, snatch down. And I said, no, I'm campaigning. And then he lifted up his shirt and he said, look, that's nothing. So I saw that and went back outside to campaign more, because I come from a place where if we're doing right, we're not afraid to die for it.
Definitely.
I'm not afraid to die for what's right, and I've never been afraid of that.
Mm-hmm.
And what's right now is to transform Brownsville and East New York and make sure all the kids, the young ones, have something to own. I can't save everybody, but best believe by the time I'm done, there's going to be more wealthy people in Brownsville, East New York than ever before. More wealthy people that look like us. And even if they don't look like us, they're going to respect us when they're here. Because we're going to own the buildings and the businesses. So they're going to respect it. No one respects you if you don't own it. And even when you own, they don't respect you.
Definitely.
So imagine if you don't have anything. Imagine how people feel about you. How do you feel about yourself?
So I have a question. So do you think everybody in like Brownsville and District 42 is ready for that change? How are you gonna get everyone to that mindset? Is my
I don't know if they're ready.
That's like the most.
And I don't care if they're ready. I don't. You have no choice. We got 4 years before they move in. Before they change this whole community around, you don't recognize it no more. It's already in process. So if you don't get together, you're done. So I don't have to care. What I'm going to do, I'm going to care about those who care. Now, if you care, come. Come. If you care, if you want to get money, and you want to own, come here. If you want a better life for you, if you don't care about yourself, but you want a better life for your children, come here. You don't even have to be you. You don't have to care about yourself, but care about your children. If you care about them, then you're going to vote for me.
I understand.
Because I don't know any mother that wouldn't want their son to go to the same schools I'll go to.
Definitely.
I don't know any mother that wouldn't want their son or their daughters to have the same stuff I have, right? So you got to ask yourself that question. Do you love yourself? Because the Barron's been here, or my opponent's been here for 20 years, and what did you do? What did they do? The other people that's running against me, they're the same people that the Democrats, the same type of Democrats that preach they're gonna change the community, and they can't even help their own self. I'm not following anybody that can't help themselves. I'm telling you that now. If you can't help yourself, if you don't have a building, I don't want you telling me how to get a building. I don't want you to. If you don't have, listen.
That's why I definitely you don't know what you're talking about.
It's not that they don't know what they might know, but why don't you have it if you know so much? Some people that don't have know. That I see with my own eyes. However, do you know what it takes? Because everybody knows how to get there, but can you make that sacrifice? Right? People know how to go and get a driver's license. Well, you're going to take time off and take the test and then go to the DMV. Are you going to do that? Everybody knows how to get a car. Well, you're going to pay for insurance. Are you going to do it and you're going to do it right? Right? There's three things. Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it right? And are you going to do it the best? Right? I'm 37 years old. I'm at the stage I'm trying to do it the best. I don't got no time for trying to get it right. I want to follow somebody that can teach me something I can't do myself, or help me get to where I can't get to myself. That's why I follow my father. I don't follow these little politicians out here. They crooks. They fraudulent, or they're inadequate. They're not enough. They got some good ones that try, but we need something different. We need somebody that's not afraid to go. Listen, we need somebody that's not afraid to go toe to toe with the giants in the political realm, but also that the people know that man has our back. He has our back. You understand? That's what we need. And I think I'm the only person that's doing that. Name somebody that you know, a politician. Ask them in Brooklyn who created jobs. I created jobs. Not the board president, not the councilman. I created jobs. They talk about they give money to capital funding, which is giving money to buildings. No, that's your job. You're supposed to do that. We elected you for that. What did you do outside of your job? That was significant. Keep in mind, I don't have to do this. I don't have to give scholarships. I don't have to give jobs. I do it because I love my people.
Definitely.
And I'm going to continue doing it. We made investments to the point that for the next 10 years, we still giving money out to NYCHA for scholarships for community schools. And that's it. I made investments that I could give another $20,000 every year for college scholarships without doing anything for 30, 50 years. That's legacy. I'm giving college scholarships out, and I have 3. I don't need it. My father has some. My sister has some. Everybody in my family has degrees, and we're giving it out. That means I don't need it. I'm trying to give home ownership to young kids, and I already have a place to stay. You look at a leader for being a servant leader, somebody that's unselfish. It's what is he doing or she's doing that they don't have to do, that you know how sincere they are.
Definitely.
Right? You have a boyfriend or girlfriend, and you have a lover, and that person picks you up from work every day.
That's love.
And they don't have to. But they care about you enough to make sure you get home safely. Or even if they just call you, right? You don't have to. Right? Those are the things that count when you don't have to. Now, if you're living together and they pay half of rent, you have to, because we live together. You gotta pay half of rent, right? Right. But what if somebody doesn't live with you and he or she, because it's an equal world, he or she says, here's one month's rent. You're like, oh, yeah. Right? You love me. You love me. Like, you love me because you don't have to.